Executive Brief. Executive Brief.
My good people of Abia State, it is my honor and pleasure to address
From the seat of governance in Abia, God's own state, comes a compendium of the governor's weekly engagement in the service to humanity and God.
This government is in its second and final tenure, and therefore we are in a hurry to gain traction and achieve what our mandate the people have given to us and defined for us as assignment.
Join the Chief Press Secretary to Abia State Governor Onyebuchi Imemanka on Flow 94.9 FM as he tracks Governor Ikpeazu's activities in delivering on the social contract with the good people of Abia State.
We have received awards and acknowledgement as the SME capital of Nigeria in recent times.
Executive Brief.
Every Friday at 9:30 a.m.
on Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. Executive Brief from the horse's mouth.
There is now a deliberate effort to ensure that our infrastructure is solid and durable.
The Executive Governor of Abia State, Okezie Victor Ikpeazu, received the report on post-COVID-19 economic recovery. He also received the President General of the Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide, Chief John Nyanwodo, Chief Emmanuel Anyanwu, and also the Obi of Onitsha, Alfred Nemeka Achebe. This is the Executive Brief. It's a compilation of the weekly activities of the Executive Governor of Abia State, courtesy of the Office of the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor. This program is a live simulcast on Flow 94.9 FM and Real 99.1 FM, Abba. My name is Temple Chinalubara. In the studio is none other than the Chief Press Secretary to the Executive Governor of Abia State, Barrister Onyebuchi Imemanka, Barrister in Journalism. A very good morning to you.
Thank you very much.
That was the title of a particular editorial on the Lawyer's Magazine.
Yeah, the Judiciary Magazine. It was a pleasant surprise to me. I had something to do at the Judiciary a few days ago, and I visited my friend, a magistrate, and two surprises met me that day. First, I didn't know that my friend, His Worship Oguru, was now the Deputy Chief Registrar in charge of probate at the Judiciary. And then, while I was trying to get over that pleasant surprise, then he presented me with a copy of the Judiciary Magazine, and at the back page of that magazine was my picture with a heading, Memanka, the barrister in journalism. I was pleasantly surprised.
Have you read the?
Oh yes, I have. The young man was simply effusive with his words, and he started by trying to portray me as somebody who is very cold and difficult to approach, but along the line, he corrected himself and presented me better. It's heartwarming, when you find out that the little things you do catch the fancy of people that matter out there. So it's great, and it's even greater to know that your name is Chinalo. Chinalo. Okay, Temple Chinalo Bara. Okay. Sounds feminine, Chinalo. Okay, all right.
Anyway, we'll move now, having tickled your fancy. Let's let you know that while the governor was busy receiving some August visitors in September, traders were receiving stimulus packages across some of the major markets in Abia State. Tell us about that, what informed that, and which of the markets women or traders benefited.
It's just, part of being a governor and feeling the pulse of your people. The governor decided that on this occasion of the Diamond Jubilee anniversary of Abia State, that he should do some giveaways for our traders. The traders are very key stakeholders in the economy of Abia State. We pride ourselves as the SME capital, the commercial strength of Southeast Nigeria, and there are people who are responsible for it. So the governor decided to give a pleasant surprise to our traders. And
how much are we talking about here?
Each of them got 10,000 naira across
all the traders in how many markets?
I mean, they were at Urbani Market, they were at Ohia Mechanic Village, the Ohia Motor Spare Parts Market.
Okay.
They were also in Abia, They were at Arera Market, of course. They were at, I think, Cemetery Market. About 5 markets in all.
Okay, at this point in time, some people have come out and say, will 10,000 naira be enough for some of these households? I don't know. The
governor is not feeding the household. He's just doing a giveaway. Nah, you're not 10,000 now. Thank you. When you see the faces of these traders, look, there are traders in the market. The entire thing they sell is not even up to 10,000.
Okay.
This, I'm an Aba boy. So I don't understand. There are women you see, all these people who sell ahatebo. They sell crayfish, achi, egusi. The entire stock.
Crayfish in the old
yes, the entire stock of their whole shop is not up to 10,000. So, but no matter what it is, even if you are a millionaire and you get an extra 10,000 from your government, it sends a message. I can assure you, my brother, that some families in Abia State, some families will feed with that 10,000 naira this weekend. Trust me.
All right, let's move on. Abia State University, huge, all over the news in the course of the week.
Yes.
And the news information that filtered into space is that staff of Abia State Universities,
some staff,
yes, well, that's not the way it was reported, sir. Staff of Abia State University protested 6 months unpaid salary, and some people have come out to react. Some people have reacted as to, if we're saying Abia State University have not been owing staff and has been compared to Abia Poly, how come this has happened in the course of 6 months? But if you have to go down to 6 months, that could be at the onset of the COVID-19 era, sometime in March or thereabout. But in a swift reaction, the governor, who is also a visitor to the university, has said he was going to be given, I wouldn't call that a palliative, that's a major support, 400 million.
Yes. You see, the hula baloo about the salary issue is unnecessary.
Okay.
That does not mean that workers should not be paid. But, like I always say, we have a very, very funny opposition in Abia State. For the past 5 years, ABSU has been flying high. You have never heard any of them say anything about ABSU. You have never heard them talk about the fact that ABSU has jumped more than 50 to 60 places on the ranking of universities in Nigeria. From number 96 when Ikpeazu came into about number 23 now in the country.
Okay.
From the lowest rungs on the cadre of state universities to number 2 in Nigeria. They will never talk about the fact that in the last 5 years, ABSU has never been on strike. They have maintained a stable academic calendar. They will never talk about it. But because of COVID-19, you see, that was why I made that statement, that public statement, to explain how the university is run. Abia State University is run from, the funding comes from 2 major sources.
Okay.
Subventions from the state government, and then internal revenue from the university, which they get from school. Remember that these school fees they collect, they don't remit it back to the state. They don't, not even a kobo. Not just ABSU, every institution. They retain the funds and use it to run their affairs, which is why we've been worried about Abia Poly. Okay. What do you do with the money that you get? What exactly do you do with the money that you get? Okay, so in this case, ABSU has run effectively. But COVID-19 set in. Universities were shut down. The internal revenue from the university is not just school fees. They offer a lot of services, consultancy services and all that. They have a water producing factory inside the university. So these things give them money. All of a sudden you shut the school down. Unplanned. Nobody planned for COVID-19. Nobody. Now you take away 70% of the funding source of an institution and you want them to survive. How? Now the issue is people should compare. How come it is just these 6 months that schools have been shut down that they are not able to pay salaries? That was why the governor, while making that announcement of the release of the 400 million, made it clear that ABSU deserves this because they've survived on their own. If you have a son who has been struggling, doing well on his own, surviving with the little resources available to him, all of a sudden his goods are seized in the high sea, like we say in Abia, a G0V and a high sea. for 6 months, and that son comes to you as a father, cap in hand, please help me, will you allow that son to go continue being hungry? You have to support. So the support from Abia State government is to show that the government appreciates the strides being recorded at Abia State University, and we are confident ABSU has a record of excellent managerial and management capabilities. We are confident that once school resume very soon now, because schools will soon resume, they will come back to their feet and maintain their position.
You're certain about that?
Of course, I am.
All right, let's take a look at the report that's presented by a team put together on post-COVID-19 economic recovery headed by Professor Anya Anya. The governor is promising full implementation. Can you give us bits of some of that report?
Well, I do not have the details of the report. They have just presented the report to the governor.
Okay.
And the governor will look at it and then take the next step.
Can you
the important thing is that at the onset of COVID-19, the governor foresaw that this thing will come with shocks. This thing will create unavoidable economic disequilibrium. At a point, oil was no longer selling. At a point, the global economy was shut down. And you know, in Nigeria, we operate a rent economy. Rent economy simply means we sell oil, we sell things, get money and spend it. Our production capabilities in Nigeria have been allowed to die over the years. So when you have a particular source of funding and something happens that affects that source of funding, you should know that there is trouble ahead. So the governor, in realizing this, empaneled a committee led by very eminent Nigerian, one of the most distinguished Nigerians, Professor Anya Oanya. The pedigree of Professor Anya Oanya is beyond question. He is a national merit order, national winner of the National Merit Order of Merit.
Okay.
Anya Oanya is a name, when you mention it, people simply stand still. The governor brought him and then brought some other private sector players. Look at what we are facing. Can you advise the government on what we need to do going forward? The government is not a compendium of knowledge. Government is participation by the people.
Okay.
Now, when you see people who know these things better than you bring them together. People who are patriotic. People who want to get things done. Not those who sit in Lagos and be criticizing government every day.
You were in Lagos.
Yes, but I did my part there. You don't see anything good about your state. Professor Anya Oanya, using his exalted position, could have been criticizing the government. He is not a politician. He is a boardroom guru, a former university don and a boardroom guru, respected nationally and internationally. But he remembers that Abia is his state, and he makes his services available to our people and our government. Now that committee also has on it Dr. Misingozo Okonjo-Iweala, and Professor Anya Oanya confirmed that she made contributions to the committee. These are patriotic Abians, not flippant people who come to social media every day to
You seem to have a problem with that.
To demarcate their. Yes, I have a problem with people who see nothing good about their state. If you don't like the face of the governor, you want to use it simply because, and most of these people who do these things are people whose candidates lost in election.
Some people do not see anything right with Nigeria, but you know, if I had to juxtapose the states and the country, the federal government will tell you that it's making every effort to ensuring that, you know, Nigeria is properly marketed, you know, in the light that it should be. Products and services are exported outside the country. But then there's some people who are out there who do not believe in some of these things.
Well, it's natural. All we are saying is, look, criticisms are good. If the objective of the criticism is to, you know, put the government on its toes and make it. No, there is no democracy that does not have opposition.
Okay.
All we are asking for is sound opposition, patriotic opposition. You know, when you embark on outright demarcating of your state.
Your state.
Your own state. You tell the world that nothing is happening in your state. And funny enough, these people who write these things on Facebook come behind to seek favors. I don't want to go into all that. But these people who come to social media to say us come behind you and say, nah, CPS, now wow, just banning it like that. You know. Mark the sign. So the point is this. Now, what the government has done is to allow this committee to brainstorm. And they did. And presented a comprehensive report.
Which you do not know its content.
Nobody knows the content except the governor and of course the members of the committee. But it will soon be made public. The governor said it very clearly that this the reports of this committee will be vigorously implemented. In fact, he even whispered to me that he's going to bring in the kind of people he will bring to work on that report to surprise people. But let me keep it under wraps for now.
Okay, so on the wraps, we'll throw that. Hopefully by next week, he would have had some whispers, more whispers from the governor to share with us. It's the executive brief on Flu 94.9 FM, a live simulcast, also simulated on Real 99.1 FM Abba. We do have the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Abia State, Barrister Onyebuchi Imemanka, the barrister in journalism, in the studio with us. We did have some eminent personalities visit us, notably the President General of Ohaneze Ndibo worldwide, talking about Chief John Nyanwodo. We also had Chief Iwanyanwu and the Obi of Onitsha visit the governor of Abia State. I'd like to find out from the CPS now the purpose of this visit at this point in time.
Well, Nigeria is a very complex nation.
Okay.
Nigeria is a federation made up of it's a nation made up of nations. And if you understand the complexities and the intricacies of the Nigerian Federation and its politics, you will agree with me that there is need for federating units and tribes. Because in Nigeria today, if you look at what is happening at the federal level, you find out that tribal sentiments, tribal ethnic loyalties remain an issue in this country, and no ethnic group will afford not to talk.
You're sounding like this is the statement of problem.
It is.
Okay.
It is. One of the greatest challenges that face this country is the problem and challenge of ethnic jingoism. It's a problem. There are loyalties in this country to tribes and ethnic regions than to the country. It's a fact. But I mean, the visit of that eminent trio to government of Abia State is part of the ongoing discussions amongst Ndibo to talk about their situation in Nigeria and fashion ways forward. In fact, the President General did say that one of the things they discussed, it was a closed door meeting. They were in a closed door session, but the President General of the three of them, spoke to me afterwards, and one of the issues they said they came to discuss with the governor was the possibility of setting up what Chief Nyanwodo called the Igbo Stabilization Fund. It's like a fund, yes. It's like a fund to support businesses, encourage our people. And he said it very clearly that day, that the Igbo nation is indebted to Governor Ikpeazu for what he is doing with our indigenous products. My brother, there is no governor in the history of Abia State, and indeed the Southeast, that has given impetus, that has given oxygen, that has accelerated, that has elevated the discussion of locally made products to a national synonym than Governor Ikpeazu. Nobody, no governor. You cannot deny him that credit, whether you like his face or not. The fact is this: Governor Ikpeazu has given massive impetus to the issue of particularly made in Aba products.
Is that why we had the president of the Council of the Nigerian Stock Exchange?
Absolutely. You cannot talk about economic recovery in Nigeria today without talking about Aba and Abia State, without talking about the efforts. Remember, production test run has we've gone beyond test run. They are currently producing now at the Aba shoe factory. No state government in Nigeria ever has done it. Today we have a shoe company in Aba producing shoes. My brother, when books shall be opened about who did what to help boost local economy in Nigeria, the name of G0V Ikpeazu PhD will be written in gold letters. Whether anybody likes it or not, go to the average shoemaker and ask him. Go to the tailors. The tailors have done a fantastic job. Today, we are all proud. Even G0V shirt na here made in Turkey. Claim on Aba. That paradigm shift, that psychological change was created by somebody.
One question away from this, just a little bit. Sustainability. What are the possible ways you think personally that we can sustain, this attention, this spotlight post Okezie Victor Ikpeazu?
Well, it is only God that knows what will happen tomorrow. But I believe that if you lay a solid foundation, if you want to build a house and you take your time to lay a solid foundation, it will be easier for people coming after you to build on it. The problem we've had is sustainability. It's a problem. Sustainability is a function of weak foundations. Weak foundations give rise to difficult sustainability systems. What Ikpeazu is doing today is just like the Enyimba Economic City. This is a foundation for the future. Look at the roads we are doing. Cement technology. It is more expensive, though.
It is more expensive.
Oh, of course it is. But it is about 3 times the cost of the normal road we do. But the advantage is that it will last. Starting a building, the most difficult part is the foundation. That is why buildings collapse. Because the foundations are not strong. Because you use inferior materials to do the foundations. But when you take your time, invest in creating a solid foundation, it is, even if you stop at that foundation level, the block work, if you do the DPC, from the DPC to the foundation level, from foundation to DPC, it's usually the most difficult. The block work is easy. That's why it could take you 1 month to do foundation or 2 months. But the block work takes 3 days. But unfortunately, what people see is the block work. The painting is what they see. They don't see the structural work that went into it. So what Ikpeazu is doing in Abia State today is the structural work.
All right.
Is the DPC. Solidifying it. Those that whoever will replace Governor Okezie Ikpeazu will be a very lucky governor. Because most of the major foundation issues will have been sorted out, and all he needs to do is just to do block work, and in some cases to paint.
Oh, well, just a little bit of an announcement. The governor of Abia State, Okezie Victor Ikpeazu, approved the constitution of the board of directors of the Abia State Water and Sewage Corporation, which will be headed by Henry Akujobi Wanchuku, chairman, and all the members. But let's move on. Finally, in less than a minute, the cash reward for the arrest of those persons involved in the attack of military and police officers.
Yes.
You refused, or well, you were unwilling to share the Security State Council meeting deliberations and resolutions.
I cannot do that. I cannot make no. There's nowhere in the world where security briefing,
But
meetings,
is this an offset of that?
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
I cannot talk about proceedings of Security Council meeting. I can't do that.
Okay.
It is against official state protocol to do that. This is a meeting where key issues concerning your security and my security strategies are discussed.
Okay.
You can't come to Facebook and start talking about what the DSS would do, what the police would do, what the army would do. Nobody does that. Because if you do that, you will be playing yourself into the hands of these hoodlums. But the cash offer is real. So my brother, you have yourself an opportunity of getting 5 million now. Once, if you have any information that will lead to the arrest of those people, bring it forward, and 5 million will be yours.
Well, in as much as that was a very generous offer, it's open to public, and of course, if you have information as to those who attack military officers and police officers in Aba,
correct information, or not information that will lead us to York in Aba. We don't want that type.
Aba and Ohafia respectively, please come forward that the state government is willing to provide that amount of money to you. This has been the executive brief. We want to sincerely thank the office of the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Abia State for ensuring that this program is live on air on Flow 94.9 FM Umuahia and Real 99.1 FM Aba. Hopefully we'll have the Chief Press Secretary, Barrister Onyebuchi Ememanka, next week to also brief us on the activities of the Governor in the course of the week. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Temple Chinalo Bara.
My name is Temple Chinalo Bara. This is a wrap.
At Flow 94.9 FM, we've got conducive and well-secured environment for business, high-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.